Oh man,
I'm back.
we're back. CP3D, man, it's back. All right.
Back. What's up, man? What have you been doing this whole time without me, huh? Just talking to everybody?
Talking. I was in Atlanta. I'm sorry, Alabama for a couple days. With the
Uh,
Lakers crew.
on
Uh,
vacation?
yeah, yeah. My preferred vacation spot is 99 degrees and hot and humid. Okay, okay.
With
Yeah,
the basketball team, though,
yeah. Oh, to be honest with everybody, right? It's not the players, so it's the senior staff. But that was awesome. It is the case that everywhere we went, like we would be like, "Hey, this is the Lakers," and people were like, "What? The Lakers?" When I like the doorman at the hotel, and
You were telling everybody?
well, what happened was yes, yes, yes. What did I do? I dropped it like one place. I just mentioned it one place, and the reaction was so strong that
That
I'm
you
like, I'm just gonna go
just
with this. And then here's the two total tell. The absolute tell is that Brian Stevenson from Equal Justice Initiative met with them, right? All right, so
what?
yes.
Ugh. And you weren't allowed to go to that meeting, right?
No, we were allowed, but Terry and I had to go catch our plane. So
Oh no. Oh no. That is
Dr. Terry
tragic.
Scott is like, this is unbelievable. This is the most ironic thing ever. Because she's like, I want to meet Brian Stevenson. And then the time we're gonna do that, we're not there.
Did you find out about it late?
Yeah, it was something they were working on.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Hey, you know what though? That's because it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? We're supposed to meet with
Really?
Brian Stevenson when Brian Stevenson wants to meet with us. Okay.
Yep.
And it's coming. It's coming. Everybody, it's coming. Brian Stevenson is coming to Common Power. Saying it right now.
Yeah, I
So
think you're right. I think you're
yeah.
right. Um, uh, yeah, there's multiple points of connective tissue now, partnerships, staffing.
Yeah.
Uh, so another thing,
He's coming to us because he's excited about Kamala Harris, man.
yeah,
He
right.
too is excited about Kamala Harris.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is the case that you do see yard signs. Oh, in fact, I saw a huge flag for Harrison Walls in Montgomery, like like a house
Really?
flag, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All
But we
right.
also, while you were partying with the big people at the Democratic National Convention, I was here, doing a few Zoom events, and we did this 47,000 in 47 hours for 47th POTUS. And we're about to announce how much we got from that, but a sneak preview, folks, we more than doubled our goal. All right.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for playing a role in that. That was a big push. 47,000 for 47 in 47 days, right? That was the push.
47 hours.
Hours. Yes. Holy cow.
But it was a fun thing, and people just stepped up like crazy and really appreciate it. Love our supporters, our donors. And this leads us to the focus of today's podcast. By the way, it's August 31st, the last day of August. We got 2 months to go. I told Charles I was going to show a clip, but I already forgot. So I'm going to show a clip at the end. All right. But it
I
leads
was
us
trying to transition you to the clip, man, but we lost track. That's
No,
okay.
I'll end with it. It works out. It works out.
All right.
The topic today, though, is that level of energy and enthusiasm and excitement around Kamala Harris. What
Yes.
what we could call the Harris effect, or the Harris, jet stream, or whatever. It's just super, super exciting. And we got a couple pieces of data to share, and also talk a little bit about Common Power and the number of people coming to us for volunteer work.
Hmm.
So
Yes. A ton. A ton. Every single day there's a Slack thing. I leave my Slack notifications on. For anyone who's a part of the CP volunteer community, Slack is our main way that we kind of gather together. Slack, not super intuitive to use, but once you get in there, it's a ton of fun. Every day, multiple times a day, there are people who join our community and introduce themselves
oh
on
yeah.
the introductions channel, and that thing is just going. It's just going, man. It's just going. New people all the time from all over the country. It's great.
So you're getting like pinged notifications when someone joins, or it's just when someone speaks?
When somebody speaks, when they introduce themselves
Yeah.
on our introductions channel, And it's just they talk about where they're coming from and why they joined, and ton of people from Vote Save, which is really cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So here's like one piece of national data that speaks to the excitement and the energy that has occurred among people who are Democrats since Kamala Harris, and then not
I
shortly after that,
I,
Tim
I
Walz.
would say excitement from Americans,
Okay, all right.
even people who are Republicans, right? As we saw during the national convention, even people who are Republicans, even independents like Oprah, right?
Yeah,
Who are like, I'm with Kamala. So I would say it's not just Democrats, it's a true coalition.
yeah. Here, pulling up a tweet that I shared with some folks. This is this is from her speech to speak to your point exactly. In her speech on when she accepted the nomination, here's Bill Kristol, who is a former Republican, strong Republican.
Never,
He's a
never
never
Trumper.
Trumper.
Yep.
He said he goes, here's how often certain words appeared
Oh
in
yeah, this is a really good. I saw this. Go ahead.
in Vice President Harris's acceptance speech. America, American, or Americans, like that cluster, 34 times.
Mm,
34 times. Country or nation, those two words, country or nation, 20 times. Democrats or Democratic Party,
0
0 times.
times, man.
0 times.
Yep.
Freedom, 12 times. Family or families, 8 times. Opportunity, 6 times. And then this is really important, race or gender, once, in reference to regardless of party, race, or gender.
Does it. Yep. Broadly, not her own.
Yep.
Not being a woman, not being black, not being
A
Indian,
Democrat, right?
not being a Democrat. Nope. It was about what was the unifying factors. Huge, 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 huge. And she also wore black and not white. She the strategy. This is the part I like. Before we had this conversation about like whether it's Kamala or the campaign. Now we're getting into like this is the campaign, dude.
Uh-huh.
This is the campaign. The strategy, the things they're saying and not saying. Oh my goodness gracious. She's writing a new book. It's a
Shit.
brand new book, dude. The like the next question, please,
Yes.
on the
Yes.
Trump, race baiting stuff. She's like same old playbook. Won't even get into the mud with him. Wow. Wow.
I know. It's like a chef who's like at the top of their game or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She knows
Uh,
exactly what she's doing. Okay.
So this is some Gallup data.
Yeah.
Gallup is a nonpartisan polling firm, and this is a question that asks people compared to previous elections, are you more enthusiastic than usual about voting or less enthusiastic? And these percentages here are the percentage of people who said they're more enthusiastic. So in March, when you look at the first row, all US adults, 54% more said more enthusiastic. Today, that's 69% more enthusiastic. So quite a big leap. And it's almost entirely among Democrats, right?
Yeah.
When Democrats went from 55% more enthusiastic in March to in August, 78%, a 23% increase.
Yeah, that's huge.
Uh,
Yeah, so the Republican one there from 59 to 64 is kind of in line with the broad US adults from 54 to 69. That's kind of the enthusiasm for voting should go up as you get closer to election, but that jump, that 23-point jump on the Democratic side, oh, that's unreal.
Yeah. So now let's just scroll down and show one more piece, one more slice of this data. This is broken out by the red line is Republicans and the blue line are Democrats, and it's across years. Same thing, say who are more enthusiastic. And if you look in
Mhm.
2008, the Obama year, the high mark there was
Can we pause
74%.
for a second? This is a crazy graph. It just looks it just looks super crazy. Whoa. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Well, if you look at the blue, which is the Republicans, I'm sorry, the Democrats, the highest level of more enthusiastic in an election year was 2008 with
Obama.
Obama.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Harris, it's higher at 78 right now with Harris and Walz. Okay, we're at Obama-esque levels of enthusiasm. And we know, like, I never thought I'd see that again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Same here.
And then the red are the Republicans, and the Republicans are, they were 59% in 2020. They're 64 now. They're right about where they were at in 2020. I'm sorry, they were 63 in 2020, and they're 64 today. So, you put the same candidate up there, you're going to get pretty much the same level of enthusiasm. But here's where Democrats spiked earlier this year from 55% to
Yeah.
78%. I don't know. I mean, I like Joe Biden and all, but you got to say this has been a pretty dramatic shift. All right.
Yeah, I know. We don't have to keep saying we like Joe Biden, man. It's okay. We everybody knows it's different. We don't have to give Joe his flowers anymore. He did his thing and he moved out of the way. Not a part of the narrative anymore. It's Kamala Harris show and her
Absolutely.
campaign which I saw a social media thing that was like literally a clip of Trump saying um something like "I control your bodies" or something like that, and they just played it over and over again next to all these decisions that he made
Oh,
against reproductive rights, and that as something that the Harris campaign put out. Like they are, it's the big stuff, with her, and it's the small. They'll take a phrase he says and they'll spin it up into some kind of messaging, and it is so smart and it's so ready for today's media age.
yeah. And they're starting this 50 stop bus tour on
Yeah.
Tuesday. They're starting in Florida, uh,
Hmm.
where they have an abortion amendment on the ballot where Trump has to vote. And
Yeah.
Trump yesterday said he will vote against the amendment, which means he's going to support the 6-week ban
Yeah.
on abortion. Like that's
After
that's the campaign right there. That's the whole campaign.
Right, right. After outrage, because he hinted at supporting IVF, and
Exactly.
so he had to backtrack all the way, and it's complete. It's just nonsense on the other side. But starting it in Florida after going to Georgia, after
Yeah.
being in rural
Southern
Georgia,
Georgia. Yep.
I mean, those are messages right there. That's offense. That's offense.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's super exciting. Um, and to see them investing in the southern kind of southern states of North Carolina,
Yeah.
Georgia, and then in Florida, even if they're not going to win Florida, they're going to make Trump play defense there, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Um, and and Trump is, I mean, whatever, it's fine. Okay, so well, I do want to talk next week about like the reproductive rights because the bus tour starts Tuesday. All right.
Mm,
And I want, and Dr. Canna Scott about a month ago talked to us about how Kamala Harris is and was going to and is running the most kind of aggressive and intentional campaign around reproductive justice of any presidential candidate ever.
yeah.
And they really are. And it's really a thing to watch. And Trump then stumbles into it by saying, I don't really think 6 weeks is right. I think it should be too short. So then he
Hmm.
says that like 2 days ago.
Yep.
And then he pisses off all the evangelicals, white
Yep.
evangelicals, right? So then yesterday he says, I think I'm going to uphold that 6-week thing. So now all the moderates are like pissed at him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but now he looks like somebody who will just swing wherever. And so, that'll work with some people, but other voters are going to be like, no, this guy clearly is just saying whatever to get our
Yeah.
vote.
Okay, let's get into some of the data we want to share here about voter registration. Okay.
Yes, exciting stuff. That's super exciting.
So we just showed some data about voter enthusiasm, and a very concrete manifestation of voter enthusiasm would be, are you registering to vote? And then
Yep.
it will eventually be, are you voting?
Are you voting? Yep.
Okay. Are you registering to vote? So you and I have a few things we want to show, but I want to just toss it to you first and just kind of say to you, because you live a high percentage of your time in CP in field work. Okay.
Yes.
You're talking to people on the
Especially
ground.
this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Partners, all this stuff. So what's your kind of high level assessment of what you're hearing about people registering to vote and getting engaged?
I mean, it's one of those things that is they're excited about voting, and so registering to vote is like a default. It's like, of course I'm going to register to vote because I really, really want to vote. And it is the thing where like we knock on a door at a house and the one person we're talking to is like, yep, I'm getting all the people who live here and all my friends to vote, all my kids and my nephews and everything, but also they're excited about it. You know, you'll show some data here in a second, but young people, the virality that we saw online at the
Mm,
beginning of her announcement has moved into actual action. It's not just this is fun. What were some people saying? It was a sugar high.
yeah.
I hope they're eating their words right now. Eat all that sugar because it's not true. It was actually a real high, and all those people who were excited about her candidacy in the beginning and the fun of it have transformed into voters. They have registered to vote, and you hear them talk about it. There's no waffling. It is categorical.
And
It is, we got to get her elected. So the
yeah.
voter registration is, of course, I'm doing that.
Yeah, a very big national group of Muslim and Arab American women put out a statement a couple days ago, which said we are unsatisfied with the Harris campaign and their position on Palestine. We will continue to push them. We disagree with them strongly, and we want to make very clear that this election is too big to not vote for Harris Walls.
So
Okay.
there's another organization out of Georgia that I was hearing from folks in Georgia, and they're super worried that this organization, it was a young API organization, they're super worried this organization was not going to back Harris because they'd been super anti-Biden, and the same thing, they're on board now, and that is such a nuanced and kind of grown up way to look at politics. I think before politics has always been like it's viewed more like a sport where it's like, yeah, this is my team, this is what I'm doing, I'm for it or I'm against it. It's been very binary. And I really believe that we're in this moment now where we've been talking about voting every year for almost a decade now. Like everyone understands things like the Electoral College, like how many senators are in the Senate and what the vice president tie-breaking vote is. Like people understand that stuff and they never used to think about that. And now they do. And so that kind of position is such an intelligent position and a reflection of what it's like to actually vote for the highest seat in the office. It is about compromise. It is about the best of the two choices that you have. And it's about continuing this fight that's gonna go beyond this election. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So Tom Bonnier, who we both pay a lot of attention to and listen to, started the organization Target Smart, as we both know. And Target Smart tracks voter registrations, tracks early voting data, tracks actual voting data. It's really a wonderful organization, and he starts to produce all of these data analyses as we get closer to the election. And
Yeah.
what I want to show, what Charles and I have noticed in the last couple of days, is a few of the things he's shown. Um, and this graph is 2.5 years long because that's the length of time where they have data across 15 states. So they have data across 15 states, and these tend to be the battleground states. And it tracks voter registration numbers, like raw numbers of voter registration. And we'll just let you look at it, and Charles will talk, and I'll talk a little bit about what we're looking at.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is better than polling, okay?
Hmm.
This is better than polling. And it's the best we can get
Yes.
before voting. Polling is, a few thousand people are surveyed. These are, hundreds of thousands and millions of people that are doing this right now across the country. Go ahead, tell them what we're seeing.
So if you look at the title, or those of you that are listening, what it says is women share of new registrants by day of registration. So what's the percentage of women that are all total registrants? And it's done by day across 2.5 years of these 15 states. It's amazing data. It's the kind of
Yeah,
data that we just wow.
it's crazy. As soon as we saw this, it was like, holy, this is like unimpeachable. Okay. This is like, oh, are people excited about Kamala Harris? Oh, let me ask my family member or check social media. No, no, no. Check this out.
So we have these spikes, these high water marks of the percent of women who are like dominating the levels of voter registration. And we have spike one, which is after the Dobbs Supreme Court decision in 2022. We've seen already historically the impact of that decision, the levels of engagement and the numbers of enthusiasm in tough states for Democrats. It's played out very well. The second spike is the one when Harris becomes the nominee, or even it starts upwards when she becomes the candidate, and then when she becomes the nominee. Over 50+% comfortably so over of all registrants are women. These are like, so to put the level of registration in context, the nomination of Harris is a galvanizing force beyond the Dobbs decision, and that's stunning.
That's a very big point. Okay, there's two things I can say that these move women. The Dobbs decision is this negative pressure that is like, there's anger, there's fear, there's frustration, right? Not that there's not that now, but we know for sure that Harris is being the nominee comes with a lot of positive emotion. And I don't know, man. This is like it in politics, there's this push to move people through negative emotion because it's easier. I think in life, maybe when people look to move people, the news does it all the time. But man, this positive emotion mover, it feels like not only is it better for us, but it's not only is it better for us individually, but it looks like it's better for the result we're looking for as well.
Well, it's like the the clapback. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
it's it's 2 years later, and now we have the so okay, you passed Dobbs. What you're going to get is the strongest president for reproductive rights we've ever had. Okay,
right,
all right,
right, right. It's the backlash, right?
yes. So this is across these 15 states, most of the battleground states. What percent of new voter registrants are women? And across these 2.5 years, the highest marks are right now. Okay, it's amazing. So that's really interesting. We're intrigued by that. Why are we all why? And we can take the intuitive next step and assume that these folks are registering to vote because they're excited, as you're saying, about Harris. Like we women vote like about 60-40 for the Democratic Party. So when
Yeah,
these registrants are flooding the zone, that's good.
yeah, it's
Okay.
huge. And they drive other people to vote, right?
Yeah.
Because they're heads of
Right.
household, right? This is one of those things they say about like when you give government money to men, they spend it on like cars and TVs and shit. You give it to women and they spend it on like the growth of the family and all that. Like that, it's a big deal when a woman registers to vote. That's not just one vote. And that's from talking to women at doors all around the country. All right, next graph.
Okay, great, right. So this breaks out a particular subset of women. It's Black women under the age of under the age of 30. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
This is
so
huge. Another huge one. Talk about people who move communities and other voters.
so this is the percent of new registrants, again, over 2 years, day by day, that are African American women under the age of 29. And there is nothing even close to this,
Yeah.
okay, across these 2 years, like what we're seeing today. Um,
Yeah.
and Bonnier makes the point in a couple of his tweets that what he is incredibly, noticing the high spikes right now, but he's also noticing the very low marks that were just about a month, 2 months ago too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at that massive dip.
So African American women under the age of 29, if you're looking for like the archetype of the Democratic Party voter, all right, you're first of all looking for African American voters, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're looking for African American women. And I'm not sure age 29 would outdo like the 50 and older African American women who are like just diehard Democrats, right?
Yeah.
But
90+% Democratic voters. Yep.
but African American young women come into this, like there's just no way this is happening without Harris. And this is why a Georgia, a North Carolina, a Virginia starts to look so much better for
Yeah.
the Democrats.
I want to also point out, and this is not the focus of this, but I want to also point out that there's not the spike during Dobbs.
Oh,
Okay, there's not the Dobbs spike. And I just want to, this is for another podcast, another time, and maybe bring in some other guests, but African American women think very differently about abortion. Obviously, that's like a broad brush than like all women or specifically white women. So that's just a it's just to put a pin in that for later. Put a pin in it, but there's data right there. It's not just my opinion, it's in the data. All
that's
right.
like a fold the page in the book thing where you're
Yeah,
like, I'm coming back to
we're
this.
coming
Okay.
back to that. We're coming back to it. We're coming back to it. I wanted to show you this though.
Okay, cool.
These are I met these people at America Vote Summit, and I took this picture for you, man. This dude right here. See this right here?
Yeah.
That's a Target Smart jacket right there, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. I took this and I had them sign these are posters with Target Smart. I had them sign like a paper. I forgot to give it to you, but I was like, I work with this dude who's a super fan of you, and he would love to have this picture, so I'm gonna send this to him. And they were like, "What? We're just posters." I was like, "You guys are rock stars in the political world." So
Yeah. Yeah, I am. If I would have to like keep the fandom under control if I
oh yeah, totally. You would just stand at the table and ask them a bunch of questions, and they'd be like, "All right, man. All right.
move
Okay."
on. They'd be like moving me over, right? They'd be like,
Yeah.
let's walk over here, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I want to show one more from Bonnier
Mm,
also, which is percentages of increase in registration. So this is not one cluster of voters versus another. This is looking
okay.
within a particular identity group. What's been their increase? And this will be, it kind of sounds abstract to people as you're listening to this, I'm sure, but it'll be very clear. So across the bottom here
Yeah.
is the category of the voter. So you have Republicans, men, AAPI, and then the total overall. The total overall is the fourth bar. And the total overall increase from 2020, this is a comparison of 2020 to 2024
Yeah.
for a week in July. There's a 32% increase overall from 2020 to 2024. But over on the far right are the greatest increases. Black
Yeah.
women under age
So
29 and
July
younger.
21st, is this the week when she
Yes, yes, it
okay.
is.
Okay,
Yes,
this is the week when he dropped out and then she was named. All right.
yes. So the five, or no, if we take actually, so total is the fourth bar, and then it goes women, Democrat, Hispanic, 18 to 29-year-olds, women 18 to 29, Black African American, Hispanic women, Black women, Hispanic women 18 to 29, Black women 18 to 29. Like if you were like picking out the subgroups for the Democratic coalition, you'd be
Yeah.
like slice them this way. There's like, here's a piece of cheese. This is really good. You're like, no, this is even a better piece of cheese right here. Okay. It's an even better slice right here.
Yeah,
Like,
they're in order of the amount of increase here. That's why they seem like they're out of order. But okay, so the total is 32%. And then it gets better and better.
175% increase for Black women 18 to 29. Like there's nothing we've seen like that. All right. Uh,
No, no, and then Hispanic women 18 to 29, 159% increase. Those are massive swings. And those are voters that will pull states like Nevada, like Arizona. This is why Ted Cruz is scared in Texas. And this is
yeah.
why the bus tours going to Florida, is because these people these are game changers right here. And again, they're not just moving households, these are moving cultures. Like 18 to 20-year-old, 29-year-old women, that is TikTok. That's these are the people who like move culture online to a large degree. Like these are huge shares of like determining what's cool. Um, and what gets heard, what people focus on. It's not everybody, obviously, but they're massive, massive movers.
So and then there's one more piece here. I'll just read it because there's not a graph. It's a tweet that Tom Bonnier today retweeted from the executive director of Vota Latino, the
Yeah.
leading national organization for Latina voters, Latinx voters. Her name is Maria Teresa Kumar, and we met with her in Seattle a couple of years ago when she was out here. She came by the office and we talked about our shared work. She says that she can verify that Voto Latino has surpassed 110,000 new registrations in battleground states. 60% are women and 65% are under 25 years old. All right.
That's huge.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about the voters who she's going after versus the ones that he's going after. I think that, she's really, it is definitely women of all ages and all parties, right? Women, even conservative women, are swinging over. And I think that's it. Like I'm not actually convinced she needs young men. I think they're tougher to get. I think there's some huge swaths of young men that are completely lost to the internet right now. And I think it's a smart decision to pull over never Trumpers, to pull over independents, to go after women hard, and to go after young people in general. And then, if you don't hit that demographic, we'll see you next election. We'll try to move you a little bit, but we can't pull everybody in. You do have to focus on some. Even if her language is like everybody and it's all of us all together, there are certain people that are being targeted, and it's not everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I will be very interested, and we will pay attention to this on the podcast, where the bus tour goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm wondering, does it go up the East Coast through the Carolinas to Virginia, in Maryland, then across the Midwest, and then swing back down to Texas? All right.
Mm,
Over to New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, which is very similar to a road trip we did in 2020. Okay,
right.
when we're hitting these states, because it will tell us a lot about where they see energy that can be motivated, compelled,
Right.
galvanized.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah, and maybe you'll follow them, huh?
I really want to be on that bus, to tell you the truth. Yes, but I will. We can certainly. Oh, hey, September. We can certainly do like a little map as we go. Like, where's the bus at? Right? Yeah.
Hey, are you gonna vote for Kamala Harris?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Are you a young woman? Okay, there we go. See, that's it, man.
So, oh, she's climbing over. Oh, that's awesome, September. Hey, nice to see you. How you doing, September? You good? It's your month coming up here.
I got Howie still.
Yeah,
Oh man.
she got an owie. That's okay. That's a story for another podcast. It's okay though, because Kamala Harris is gonna be president.
Mm,
That's right.
mm,
That's right.
mm.
Well, I've got this clip to share, but really it's not better than what's happening right now.
I
Okay.
want to see the clip. We want to see the clip. You want to see the clip?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
She wants to see it.
So there was this basketball player before you were born, Charles, named Michael Jordan. Okay.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
And Michael Jordan um, is in my view the greatest basketball player in the history of the world. There are
Yeah.
some who might debate that, but he's had a famous way of like rallying the team before they would go out to play. They
Okay.
would all come together in a circle like we do at Common Power, hands in,
Yep.
right? Hands in. And it would signify the kind of like we're focused and we're going right now.
That's right.
Okay.
Right.
So I got this. I woke up thinking about this today because to me this is what it is. It's
Okay.
it's called game time. It's game time,
It's
folks.
game time. Okay, you ready? Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Hmm?
Do you know who Michael?
I will get something.
Okay. Choose to get ready. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll get something. with my dinosaurs.
Okay, Michael Jordan, here we go. You're so lucky that we have an older audience for this.
Oh my God, this is the best. Yes, it's like,
Even though we're the oldest team.
that's the coach right there, by the way. His name is Phil Jackson. Okay.
Phil Jackson, man. I thought Phil Jackson was old during this video.
He's pretty young in this video. Okay.
I know.
The oldest team in the playoffs. I think that we turn around really well without notice and make adjustments. Michael was very upbeat and kept saying, "This, we're fine."
Y'all realize we're 2-1, man. We're not 1-2. Let's go out here and play this thing, all right?
Be ready to run now.
I like that.
What time is it? Game time! Woo!
That's what it is, man. It's game time. Right?
What time is it? Game time. Do you want to make that your chant now when you go out there?
If you would allow it, I would like to. Oh, hey, look at the dinosaur. I love the dinosaur.
What time is it? Say game time.
Game time.
That's
That's
what
right.
I'm talking about.
That's
What
right.
I'm talking
One more
about.
time. One more time. Ready? What time is it?
Game time.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go. All right. CP3D back in the house. So we're going to try to get you, Charles, as much as we can while you're here. Okay.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it before I hit the road.
Yeah. So the next several days, I'll try to pull you in as much as we can, folks. All right, let's go.
All right, let's go. Game time.
Game time.